All right, let's dive into 1.NUEVAYoL. It's a Bad Bunny track. And, you guys clearly have great taste because this is way more than just a catchy beat.
Definitely.
We've got some really interesting articles and analyses you sent over. And I think it'd be fun to kind of like unravel this a little bit and see why it's resonating with so many people.
Yeah, it's definitely a lot more than a party anthem. And actually, it's really interesting to see this track, No Avail, in the context of Bad Bunny's kind of evolution as an artist,
Right.
especially on this 2023 album, Nadie sabe lo que va a pasar mañana.
Yeah.
It feels like a return to his harder-hitting Latin trap
Yeah,
roots.
I felt that shift too. It's
Yeah,
a noticeable shift from something like the global, almost like pop sound of Un Verano Sin Ti.
right, exactly.
And what I find so interesting is the title Nuevo.
Uh-huh,
It's not just New York. It's specifically the way many in the Puerto Rican community in NYC refer to their city.
right.
It's not New York. It's Nuevo.
Oh.
And that feels significant.
It is. And it's more than just a phonetic spelling. It's like this taking ownership and reshaping
Totally.
the city in their own image.
Yes.
And this idea of reshaping, it's not just in the title.
Right.
It's also woven into the music itself. Like, think about that sample from El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico's Un Verano en Nueva York that he uses.
I love that sample.
Yeah.
On the surface, they're both kind of about summer fun in the city.
Right.
But knowing Bad Bunny, there's got to be more to it.
No, there is so much more to it.
Right.
First of all, you have to remember that Un Verano en Nueva York is such a classic, salsa song,
Right.
practically an anthem for Latino celebrations in the city.
Yes.
So he's not just using any sample, he's deliberately connecting this to a whole musical legacy,
Yeah.
tapping into this rich history. But he's not just replicating the vibe either, he's transforming it.
Right.
Take the tempo, for example.
Okay.
El Gran Combo's track has that classic upbeat salsa feel,
Sure.
whereas Nueveol is slowed down, almost brooding at times. That tempo shift alone changes the entire feeling. It adds a layer of complexity to this party atmosphere.
Yeah, I hadn't even consciously noticed the tempo
Right.
difference, but now that you mention it, it really does.
Yeah.
Like change the whole feel. It's
mean, we
like
gotta-
celebratory, but with an edge.
Right.
And then it's not just the music, the lyrics hint at something deeper too.
Yes.
Especially the line, PR se siente cerquita. Just that one phrase, Puerto Rico feels close by, amidst all this New York imagery.
Right.
It's so powerful.
It is so powerful. Imagine being in the heart of New York City,
Yeah.
this bustling metropolis, and then you're suddenly reminded of home, of your roots.
Right.
And that line isn't just about physical proximity. It's about holding on to your heritage.
Yeah.
Even when you're miles away, it really speaks to the experience of so many Puerto Ricans in New York,
Yeah.
this navigating of these two worlds, these two identities.
And speaking of navigating different worlds, the song is filled with these really specific shout-outs.
Yes.
And symbols that just add these layers to the whole experience. Like we have the legendary salsa musician Willie Colon,
Yeah.
and then we also have like James Bond. What's the connection there?
Yeah, and those are great examples, I think, of how Bad Bunny operates on multiple levels.
Uh-huh.
So with Willie Colon, it's not just a random name drop. He specifically references Colon's iconic album, El Malo.
Right.
And again, this ties into the idea of connecting to a musical legacy,
Yeah.
paying homage to those who came before him.
Totally.
The James Bond reference is where things get interesting.
Okay.
Think about what James Bond represents. He's smooth, he's calculated, he always comes out on top.
Right.
So it's not just about liking spy movies.
Right. He's aligning himself with those qualities.
Exactly.
He's like the James Bond of the music scene.
Exactly. It's almost like a playful boast,
Yeah.
suggesting that he's navigating the music world
Yeah.
with that same confidence and strategy.
Yeah, I love that it's so subtle, but then once you see it, it's just like
Right.
this whole other layer.
Totally. There's another reference that I'm curious about, the line about Casa de Toñita.
Yes.
Can you tell me more about that? What is the significance of this place?
Casa de Tonita. This is where we get into the heart of Puerto Rican New York.
Okay.
It's not just anyone's house. It's referring to the Caribbean Social Club in Brooklyn.
Okay.
And this place is legendary, a true gathering spot for the Puerto Rican community.
So we're talking about a place that represents more than just a night out.
Absolutely. It's community.
Yeah.
Shared history, keeping their culture alive in the heart of this massive city.
Yeah.
So by mentioning Casa de Tonita, he's not just adding local flavor. He's grounding the song in a very specific cultural space that holds a lot of meaning for so many.
It's interesting because we have these musical references and then these places,
Right.
and then he also brings in these figures from sports.
Yes.
We have Juan Soto, the Dominican baseball star, and Tito Trinidad, the boxing champ.
Yeah.
I'm curious, why do you think he included them in this song? Well, they might seem like random additions, but think about what Soto and Trinidad represent.
Okay.
They're both known for their dominance, their resilience in their respective sports.
Right.
So he's creating a parallel between their achievements and his own drive in the music world.
Oh, that's fascinating.
Yeah,
It's subtle, but it's there.
it is.
It's almost like he's saying, look, we can excel in any field. We can be champions too.
Exactly.
It's incredible how much he packs into this one song. We've got sports, we've got music, cultural landmarks,
Oh, wow.
all woven into this larger narrative about being Puerto Rican in New York.
It's true.
And I'm eager to unpack even more. So
Yeah.
let's keep diving in.
Let's do it.
Huh.
As we're kind of exploring these different layers, there's one aspect of NUEVAYoL we haven't touched on yet, and I think it's key to understanding the song's impact, the musical structure itself.
Okay.
It's unconventional, to say the least.
Oh, I'm all ears. I always find it fascinating when artists play with structure to create different effects.
Right.
So what's he doing here?
Well, he's definitely not following a typical verse-chorus-verse formula.
Right.
NUEVAYoL is more like a sonic journey, almost mirroring the energy of the city itself.
Okay.
Ebbs and flows, builds and releases. It's almost like you're walking down a bustling street,
Right.
taking in all the sights and sounds.
I love that analogy because
Yeah.
it makes me think about how he uses that Un Verano and Nueva York sample. It's not just like a one-off, it reappears throughout the song,
Right.
almost acting as this kind of sonic anchor.
Exactly.
What do you think he's doing with that repetition?
It's brilliant, really. By bringing back that sample, he's not only grounding the song in this specific musical tradition,
Yeah.
but he's also creating this dialogue between past and present.
Right.
He's paying homage to those who came before him while simultaneously kind of pushing the sound forward, adding his own unique flair.
And it's not just about the sample itself, it's how he's like manipulating it,
Exactly.
transforming it into something new. I noticed how he isolates certain instrumental elements, like the horns, and then layers them with these heavier trap beats.
Yeah.
And it's like that duality we talked about earlier
Agreed.
shines through there.
Yeah, absolutely. He's taking these classic salsa elements and weaving them into this modern, almost industrial soundscape.
Right.
It's a fusion that shouldn't work, but it does.
Yeah.
And that's what makes BadBunny such a fascinating artist.
Right.
He's not afraid to break the rules, to experiment, to create something entirely fresh and unexpected.
And he's doing it while staying true to his roots, his
Yeah.
culture.
Exactly.
He's not watering anything down.
Yeah.
I'm thinking back to the Juan Soto and the Tito Trinidad references.
Right.
Someone who's not familiar with them might miss that layer entirely.
Right.
But within those communities, those names carry so much weight.
Oh, absolutely. And that's a good point. It's a reminder that music can be so layered, so full of these hidden meanings that only reveal themselves when you have the right context.
Right.
And in the case of Soto and Trinidad, he's tapping into this shared sense of pride, of accomplishment. It's a way of saying, look, we can excel in any field. We can be champions too.
And it's not just about individual achievement, it's about representation.
Right.
It's about seeing yourself reflected in these figures who have broken barriers,
Exactly.
defied expectations.
Totally.
I mean, that message must be so powerful for young Latinos listening to this.
Absolutely. And it's about challenging stereotypes, expanding the narrative of what it means to be Latino in today's world.
Yeah.
And he's not just talking the talk, he's walking the walk.
Right.
He's living proof that you can be true to yourself, embrace your heritage, and still achieve global success.
He's paving the way for a whole new generation of artists.
Yeah.
Speaking of paving the way, that line, se siente cerquita, just keeps coming back to me.
Yeah.
Such a simple line, yet it evokes so much.
It does. I think that line really encapsulates the heart of the song, that constant push and pull between two worlds.
Right.
It's about being physically in New York, but still feeling so connected to Puerto Rico, to your roots.
Yeah.
It speaks to that longing for home, that feeling of carrying a piece of where you come from, wherever you go.
And it's not just geographic distance, it's navigating the different cultures.
Right.
The identities, trying to find your place
Exactly.
in a world that doesn't always make space for all of who you are.
You're absolutely right. It's a universal feeling, that sense of searching, of belonging.
Yeah.
And he manages to capture it all in just a few words. It's a reminder that even when we feel lost or alone, there's always that part of us that remains connected to something larger,
Right.
something that grounds us and gives us strength.
It's like that musical anchor,
Yeah,
reminding us of where we come from even as we navigate
exactly.
the complexities of the present.
Totally.
So I'm curious to hear your thoughts on the overall impact of NUEVAYoL.
Okay.
Do you think it's achieved what Bad Bunny set out to do?
I think it's gone far beyond anyone's expectations. It's not just a global hit.
Right.
It's become a cultural touchstone.
Yeah.
It's sparked conversations about identity,
Mm.
about representation, about the power of music to connect us across borders and generations.
All right.
And it's done all of that while remaining true to its roots, its language, its culture.
Right.
That's remarkable.
It is, and it's a reminder that embracing your heritage, embracing your differences,
Yeah.
it can lead to something truly unique and powerful.
Absolutely.
And it's not just the message. The music itself is so infectious. That driving beat,
It is.
that fusion of Latin trap and those traditional rhythms, it's like impossible not to move to it.
It makes you want to dance.
Yes.
That's the magic of Bad Bunny.
It is.
He creates music that makes you think, makes you feel, makes you want to dance all at the same time.
That's it. That's the perfect way to put it. It's
Yeah.
music that makes you think, feel, and move.
Totally.
And it's so compelling. And we've covered so much ground today.
Yeah.
But I feel like we've only just scratched the surface.
I think there's always more to uncover, more to explore.
Yeah.
That's what's so exciting about diving deep into a piece of music like this.
Mm-hmm.
It opens up this whole world of possibilities,
Right.
of connections, of interpretations.
And it's not just about this one song.
Right.
It's about being open to new experiences, challenging our assumptions, and discovering the hidden depths in the things we think we already know.
Exactly. That's what makes these deep dives so rewarding.
Yeah,
They remind us there's always more to learn, more to discover, more to appreciate.
totally.
And NUEVAYoL is a perfect example of that. It's a song that keeps on giving,
Right.
revealing new layers and nuances with every planet.
And speaking of revealing new layers, there's one musical element I don't think we've talked about yet.
Okay.
And I think it's so crucial to the song's overall impact. The vocals,
Yes.
Bad Bunny's delivery is so unique, so full of emotion and swagger.
Yeah.
How would you describe his vocal style and how it contributes to this song?
Oh, that's a great observation. I
Yeah.
think his vocals are as multifaceted as the song itself.
Mhm.
You have these moments where he's rapping with this fierce, almost aggressive energy,
Right.
and then he suddenly switches to this melodic, almost crooning style,
Yeah.
especially when he delivers lines like, PR se siente cerquita.
Yes.
It's like he's embodying that duality we've been talking about, shifting between these different personas, these different emotional states.
And those shifts are so intentional.
Absolutely.
It's not just about switching up the flow.
Yeah.
It's about highlighting certain lyrics,
Yeah.
certain emotions, certain ideas. It's like he's guiding the listener through the song,
Right.
emphasizing what's important.
Exactly. It's a masterclass in vocal storytelling.
Yeah.
He knows exactly when to lean in, when to pull back, when to let the music speak for itself.
Right.
And that control, that precision, is what elevates this from just a catchy party track
Right.
to this truly captivating sonic experience.
It's like he's using his voice as another instrument, like
Yeah.
on another layer in this already intricate tapestry.
So,
And
yeah.
it's not just about the technical aspects.
Right.
It's about the emotion he pours into every line.
Yeah.
You can hear the pride, the longing, the vulnerability,
Yeah.
all wrapped up in this vocal delivery that's instantly recognizable as Bad Bunny.
It's true. And I think it's that authenticity, that willingness to be vulnerable
Right.
that makes him such a powerful artist.
Totally.
He's not afraid to show his heart, to let us see the man behind the music.
Yeah.
And that connection, that human element, is what makes NUEVAYoL so resonant.
Yeah, it's a reminder that even amidst all the musical complexity, the cultural references, the sonic experimentation,
Right.
it's the human connection that matters most. It's
Yeah.
about sharing stories, emotions, experiences, and inviting others to do the same.
Absolutely. And NUEVAYoL does all of that and more. It transcends boundaries,
Yeah.
languages, genres, and it speaks to something universal about the human experience.
Totally.
That search for belonging, that longing for home,
Right.
the power of music to connect us to ourselves and each other.
Beautifully said. As we wrap up this section,
Yeah,
I'm realizing that Nuevayol is more than just a song, it's a conversation starter.
totally.
It's an invitation to think critically about the music we listen to, the artists we admire, and the cultural forces that shape our world.
It is, and that's what we've tried to do today, haven't we? To
Yeah.
engage in this deeper conversation,
Right.
to peel back the layers, to appreciate the artistry and the intention behind this song that, on the surface, might just seem like another party anthem.
It's a reminder that there's always more to discover, more to understand,
Yes.
more to appreciate. That's what makes these deep dives so worthwhile, They encourage us to be curious, to ask questions, to never stop exploring the world around us, even in the seemingly familiar. As we wrap up our deep dive into Nuevayol, I'm struck by how much we've uncovered. From the musical intricacies to the cultural references, this song is like a treasure chest of meaning.
It really is. And it's fascinating how Bad Bunny manages to weave all those elements together so seamlessly. He's a master storyteller, using music as his canvas to paint this really vivid portrait of life, identity, and belonging.
Yeah, and he's doing it all on his own terms, like refusing to be boxed in by genre or language. It's like
Yeah.
he's saying, this is who I am, this is my story, and I'm going to share it with the world in all its complexity.
Exactly, and that's what makes him such a powerful force in music today. He's not afraid to challenge expectations, to push boundaries, to embrace his heritage as a source of strength and creativity.
I'm curious, how do you think Nuevayol fits into the larger conversation about Latin music and its global impact? We've seen this huge surge in popularity in recent years, and Bad Bunny seems to be at the forefront of that movement.
Oh, he's definitely a key player, and I think Nueva Viol is a prime example of why it's a song that embodies the spirit of Latin music today. It's
Yeah.
vibrant, it's diverse, it's rooted in tradition, but it's also constantly evolving, pushing boundaries, incorporating new influences.
And it's not just about the music itself, right? It's about the culture, the language, the stories that are being shared. Bad Bunny is using his platform to amplify those voices, to celebrate his heritage, and to connect with a global audience in a way that feels both authentic and groundbreaking.
Absolutely. He's breaking down barriers and building bridges, showing the world the richness and diversity of Latin culture through his music.
Mm-hmm.
And he does it with a swagger and a confidence and the sense of humor that's infectious.
Yeah, there's a playfulness to his music, a sense of joy that's undeniable, even when he's tackling serious themes. Like, even with all the layers we've uncovered in Nueva Vale, at its core, it's still a song that makes you want to get up and dance.
That's the beauty of it, right? It's music that can be both profound and playful, thought-provoking and exhilarating. It's a testament to the power of music to transcend boundaries and connect us on a deeper level.
Speaking of connecting on a deeper level, there's one aspect of Nueva Vale that we haven't explicitly addressed yet, and I think it's worth highlighting. The sense of community it evokes. From the shout-out to Casa de Tomita to those broader themes of shared heritage and belonging, this song feels like a celebration of something larger than just an individual experience.
You're right. It speaks to the power of collective identity, of finding strength and solidarity in shared experiences, even when those experiences are complex and multifaceted.
Yeah, it's like he's creating a sonic space where people can come together, celebrate their roots, and find a sense of belonging in a world that can often feel isolating.
And he's doing it in a way that's both inclusive and empowering, inviting listeners to join him in this celebration of culture, identity, and resilience.
It's a powerful message, especially in today's world where divisions and differences are often amplified. Bad Bunny is reminding us that there's strength in unity, in embracing our shared humanity, and in finding common ground through music, through art, through shared experiences.
I think that's a beautiful way to sum up the impact of Nuevo. It's a song that invites us to celebrate our differences, to embrace our heritage, and to find connection and community in unexpected places.
And it's a reminder that music can be more than just entertainment. It can be a powerful tool for storytelling, for cultural expression, for social commentary, and for fostering a sense of belonging and understanding.
Absolutely. So to everyone listening, keep exploring, keep questioning, keep diving deep into the music that moves you. You never know what hidden treasures you might uncover.
And remember, every song has a story to tell. It's up to us to listen closely, to engage with the music, and to discover the layers of meaning that lie beneath the surface. That's what makes these deep dives so rewarding, and that's why we love doing them.
Until next time, keep those ears open, those minds curious, and those feet moving.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.